and managing supplier relationship is very important in an organization or in every business, especially in hospitality, and tourism management businesses, because we in the tourism business or in hospitality industry businesses, we are able to meet different people, including the supplier, and it's important to build relationship with them in order for them to give excellent or quality services and products to us that we can also give to our customers and to reach our customer satisfaction and eventually become profitable. Good day, everyone. Our discussion for today is about creating and managing supplier relationship. So when we say supplier partnership, this is a commitment over an extended time to work together to mutual benefit of both parties, sharing relevant information and the risk and rewards of the relationship. So in a supplier partnership, it is not only about the success of the business, but also all the problems should be helped or be communicated in order to have a solution with your supplier. And this in this manner, you are able to come up with solution or strategies on how to solve problems in connection to supply of raw materials. So these relationships require a clear understanding of expectations, open communication and information exchange, mutual trust, and a common direction for the future. Such arrangements are a collaborative business activity that does not involve the formation of legal partnership. So it's not only about legalities in terms of partnership. It's about on how you treat your suppliers, no, your employees and other people around you in an ethical manner. Because it's not only important that you alone perform in the organization, because you need others. No, you cannot stand alone in order to be successful in your business, because you really need lots of people around you to support you and to help you. Okay? So there are different key ingredients in developing partnership. But before that, let's have this presentation. Companies are just beginning to learn what nations have always known in a complex, uncertain world filled with dangerous opponents, and it is best not to go it alone. So, in connection to what I have said a while ago, it is very impossible for you to be successful in a business if you just walk alone. Now, if you will do all the activities and tasks and the decision making alone. So, you really need people, experts, no, also the suppliers. Suppliers should be capable enough to give you the quality products, no, the raw materials that is needed, no, that are needed in order for you to become profitable in your business. So you cannot be alone in the hospitality industry business. Okay, there are different ingredients, key ingredients in developing partnership. We have the building of trust, shared vision and objectives, the personal relationship, mutual benefits and needs, commitment and top management support, change management, information sharing and line of communication, capabilities, performance metrics, and continuous improvement. So first, let us discuss the building of trust. So building of trust or building trust is very critical, and it is built in all organization levels. This also enables organization to share valuable information, to devote time and resources, and to achieve results. That's why said to be very critical, because you are able to share valuable information and you do not know if this group of people will keep that secret or trade secret from your company. So it's important that your suppliers are trusted. So according to Jordan Lewis, trust does not imply easy harmony. Obviously, business is too complex to expect ready agreement on all issues. However, in a trusting relationship, conflicts motivates you to prove for deeper understanding and search for constructive solutions. Trust creates goodwill, which sustains in the relationship when one firm does something the other dislikes. So if you trust your suppliers, no, and the suppliers as well trust you, so whatever it is the problem that may arise, you are going to talk about it and to settle and to look for solutions for it. And mistakes or issues or negative experiences will always teach you lesson, and trust is very important to hone when it comes to supplier partnership. Next, we have shared vision and objectives. So this expectations, reasons, and objectives of the buyer and supplier. So in doing a business, this is one important, this one is very important, or this is one of the most important to consider, the vision and objectives. So if your supplier also know what is your objective, what is your vision for your business, and what do you want to look up after 5 to 10 years, and where is your business for that years to come. So they're able to also perform very well, and they will also able to support you and to give you what you demand from them. So according to Lenwood Grant, you don't want a partnership that is based on necessity. If you don't think that the partnership is a good mix, but you do it because you have possibly, because that supplier is the only provider of the material in the market, because you signed an exclusive contract in the past, or for some other reason, it is not a true partnership and it's likely to fail. So in choosing a partnership, it is not about on the popularity, or because you know the supplier and you are related to supplier, you are friends with the supplier, but it is based on the capability of the supplier. If they are really concerned about the vision and objectives of every company in which they transport raw materials, no, they are able to be trusted into, and you are able to share your vision and objectives to them, and in return, they will perform very well. Next is personal relationship or interpersonal relationship. According to Leonard Greenhalgh, an alliance of partnership isn't really a relationship between companies. It is a relationship between specific individuals. When you are considering strategic alliances of any kind, the only time the company matters in the status, or is in the status associated with it, or is the strategic alliance. Whoever is interfacing with other company, they are the company. So people represents the company. There are many people who work for the company, who talk to different people in order to make a deal, or to have a meeting, or to do something. No, it always the company always has its representative. Okay, so it builds interpersonal relationship because it is individual to individual, and it's important that what, like what I said a while ago, not only in the legal way but also in an ethical way. So you need to create your values, good character in talking to people, and your stand with your principles. So that's interpersonal relationship, and it is also very important in building supplier relationship. Next, it is mutual benefits and needs. So this is a win-win situation because from the word itself, mutual benefits. So mutual needs, share benefits of the partnership, opportunities for increased innovation. And for example, now if one party is not happy in a marriage, so this not can be called, or this marriage cannot likely to last. So same with the company or the supplier and the company relationship. If you do not feel that you are satisfied by your suppliers, they did not meet your standards and your demands, they commit mistakes, the same mistakes now repetitively. So it means they are not sincere on how to able to do their job properly, and maybe you need another supplier for your restaurant or hotel. Okay, next, commitment and top management support. So with this, right partners start at the highest management level, opportunities to grow, internal attitude, and collaborative approach. So according to Stephen R. Covey, without involvement, there is no commitment. So this is very true. Mark it down, asterisk, circle it, and underline it. No involvement means no commitment. So that's why internal marketing is very important, because in this way, employees are being able to be involved in the organization. So once you are involved, you are going to be committed. And once you feel that you are part of the company, you will look for ways on how you will do your job properly, effectively, and more productive. And with that, in connection with looking for suppliers, you will look for the right suppliers for your business. And also with that, in connection, you can get the support from the top management. Okay. Change management. So nowadays, we are experiencing this pandemic, and restaurants are innovating ways on how they can able to adapt with this change, because nothing is constant in this world except change. Okay, so restaurants are building this innovation such as delivery services, this outside al fresco dining. They are creating their backyards or their available spaces for tables for dining of the customers, for them to be able to cater these customers without um, sacrificing the health of everybody. So this is the way on how they manage change. So this might be very stressful, destructive from the core business, but you should be prepared. Everybody should be prepared for the change. According to Stephen Covey, the successful change management is remaining focused on a set of core principles that do not change regardless of the circumstances. Okay, so in order to be successful, you need to be focused on your principle or your core principles, or the main goal and objective of your company. Okay, so regardless of all the circumstances, you can all pass that and you can get through all of that. Next is information sharing and lines of communication. This is very important. The information or the lines of communication should be in a formal or informal tone, high degree of trust, maintain confidentiality, open channels of communication, success of partnership, non-disclosure of agreements, quality and accuracy of information shared, and loss of trade secrets. So whoever you talk to, make sure that it should be the one who will receive the message and not some other people or some other group, because there are some of the information that they should not that they are not allowed to know. So that's not that non-disclosure of any information. So also the line of communication should be clear, accurate, in order to avoid mistakes. And for example, you are going to order how many kilos of raw materials, that should be exact and that should be accurate. So according to Economic Espionage Act of 1996, all forms and types of financial, business, scientific, technical, economic, or engineering information, including the patterns, plans, compilations, program devices, formulas, design prototypes, methods, techniques, processes, procedures, programs, or codes, whether tangible or intangible, and whether or how stored, compiled, or memorialized physically, electronically, graphically, and photographically, or in writing. So it's not only with the vocal conversation, but you need also to create the black and white, the printed ones, in order to retain the information, especially the most important ones. Next, we have the performance metrics. So you can improve, but you can't measure quality, cost, delivery, and flexibility, and metrics provision. So how are you going to compare your performance if you do not measure it? Nor how are you going to improve if you do not know what to improve? So it is really important to measure or to have a criteria in measuring your performance. Okay, so for the following criteria, we have technical expertise, the lead times, the environmental awareness, and market knowledge. So we have this TCO, or the total cost of ownership. This is a broad-based performance metric that has been widely discussed in the supply chain literature. We have three major cost categories. We have three major categories, which are the pre-transaction cost, the transaction cost, and the post-transaction cost. So in the pre-transaction cost, these are the costs that incurred prior to order and receipt of the purchase of goods. So for example, is certifying and training suppliers. Number two is the transaction cost. So when we say transaction cost, These costs includes the cost of the goods or services and costs associated with placing and receiving the order. So example of this, purchase price, preparation of orders, and delivery cost. And then lastly, we have the post-transaction cost. So from the word itself, these costs are incurred after the goods are in the possession of the company, agents, or customers. So example of this is field failures. So companies' goodwill, reputation, maintenance costs, and warranty costs. So for the post-transaction cost, after you have the full operation, and you have the feedback for the operation from your customers or your clients. So whatever it is, the adjustment that you need to do, it is always equivalent to this type of cost, which is the post-transaction cost. So again, as part of the performance metrics, you need to cut down this cost. And we have these three major categories. So we have the pre-transaction cost, the transaction cost, and the post-transaction cost. So this is an example for performance metrics or supplier performance metrics. So we have the following criteria. So we have the cost and price. Now, under cost and price, we have, of course, competitive price, availability of cost breakdowns, productivity improvement, and cost reduction programs. Of course, the information cost, the inventory cost, the willingness to negotiate price, all of this have cost equivalent. Okay, so again, we have the cost and price, the quality, and it also trimmed down into categories for the quality, and then for the delivery, responsive and flexibility, the environment, technology, the business metrics, and the total cost. Okay, so for the cost of price, so we are here now in the transformation cost or transportation cost, the actual cost compared to historical standard cost, target cost, and cost reduction goal, or the benchmark cost. We also have the extent of cooperation leading to improved cost. So that's number one, cost or the price. Number two, quality. So for the quality, if the product has zero defects, statistical process controls, continuous process improvement. So if it is fit for use, corrective action and program, documented quality programs such as ISO 9000, warranty, the actual quality compared to the historical quality, the specification quality, the target quality, quality improvement compared to. Okay, and then the extent of cooperation needing to improve quality. Okay, for the delivery, we have this fast delivery, the reliable on-time delivery, defect-free deliveries, the actual delivery compared to promised delivery window, and the extent of cooperation needing to improve delivery. So, for example, in fast food chains or restaurants or hotel, no, there are delivery time schedules. So, if the supplier doesn't follow the schedules properly or doesn't deliver these raw materials on time, the operation might be suffered, no, or might suffer, and the operation might hamper. So probably they might hinder the flow of the guests or customers inside their establishment. So probably if they are going to deliver during peak times, during people are so many inside the restaurants or hotel, so they might cause trouble, and you might lose your customer in that sense. Number four, responsiveness and flexibility. So with this, responsiveness to customers, accuracy of record keeping, ability to work effectively with teams, responsiveness to changing situations, participation, success of supplier certification program, short cycle charges in demand, flexible capacity, changes in delivery schedules, participation in the new product development, solving problems, willingness of supplier to seek inputs regarding product and service design, service changes, advanced notification given by supplier as a result of product service changes, and receptiveness to partnering or learning. So this is more on communication, no, of all the information that should be known by the supplier and of course by the retailer and vice versa. And the number 5 is environment. Environmentally responsible is your supplier environmental management system such as ISO 1400s are being followed, and extent of cooperation leading to improved environmental issues. Okay, number 6 is technology. So are they proactive improvement, or do they have this improvement using proven manufacturing service technology, supportive product service design, and extent of cooperation leading to improved technology. For the business metrics, reputation of supplier, leadership in the field, long-term relationship with the supplier, quality of information sharing, financial strength such as Dun and Bradstream credit rating, strong customer support group, total cash flow, rates of return on investment, and extent of cooperation leading to improved business processes and performance. So with this business metrics, you are able to measure accurately the performance of your supplier. And with this, you are able to know if you are still profitable or not. And the number 8 is the total cost of ownership. So purchase products, we shift cost effectively. So cost of special handling, additional support supplier cost as a result of the buyer's scheduling and shipment needs, and cost of defects, rework, and problem solving associated with purchase. So there are different types of costs as we have mentioned. No? So if these costs are incurred because of mismanagement or miscommunication with suppliers, it should be eliminated or it should be improved. Okay, so these are examples of supplier performance metrics in which you are able to assess your suppliers if they meet your standards using this criteria. Next is continuous improvement. So everybody is improving, everybody commits mistake, and everyone is open for improvement or change. Okay, so continuously making small series of improvements over time, willingness to continuously improve capabilities of both the buyers and suppliers, and proactively working towards eliminating mistakes and dynamic environment. Okay, so nowadays we have this dynamic environment, we have experiencing this, and we should face all the changes and all the problems to eliminate mistakes proactively. Okay, and so as to continuously improve. Okay. Next, supplier evaluation and certification. So with this evaluation and certification, you are able to see who are the best suppliers. So organizations key suppliers, the tracking of products and service quality as part of the supplier rating system, the supplier evaluation and certification process, the facts about supplier capabilities. So goals, evaluating suppliers is to determine if the supplier is performing according to the buyer's requirements. So again, when choosing a supplier, it is not only because you are close to this person or you are close to the family and or you are part of the family for this supplier, but you need also to measure or to see if they are really certified or if they are really qualified or they pass the certification and evaluation procedures. Okay, so according to Institute of Supply Management, supplier certification is an organization process for evaluating the quality systems of key suppliers in an effort to eliminate incoming inspections, extension of supplier evaluation. So this is an example for weighted criteria evaluation system. So this is for the XYZ company. So as you can see, you have this different performance measure. So you have the technology, the quality, the responsiveness, delivery, the cost, environmental, business, and then the total score. So for the rating, example, you have this rating of 80 for the technology. For the quality, you have 90. And for responsiveness, you have 95. For delivery, you have 90. Cost is 80. Environmental is 90. And business is 90. So for the weight, it should be equivalent to 1. So for example, you assign weight for technology, which is 0.10. You assign quality weight as 0.25. For responsiveness, you assign weight of 0.15. For delivery, you assign weight for 0.15 also. And for the cost, 0.15. For environmental issues, you have 0.05 as weight. And then for the business, you also put 0.15. So this should be equivalent to 1. So the total score for the final value, as you multiply the rating to the weight. So for example, we have 80 times the 0.10 for technology. The value is, or the final value is 8. And then you will just do the same procedure or the same formula for the other performance measure to get their final value, and you will just add all the final value to get the total score. So in order to solve for the weighted criteria or the supplier scorecard, no, using weighted criteria evaluation system, just follow this step. So as I mentioned this step earlier, so these are the 7 steps for you to remember, okay, or for you to refer also. So first is select the key dimensions of performance mutually acceptable to both customers and suppliers. Next is to monitor and collect performance data. Next is to assign weights to each of the dimensions of performance based on their relative importance to the company's objectives. So for example, the weights for all dimensions must be summed to 1. So number 4 is evaluate each of the performance measures on a rating between 0 and 100. So 5 is multiply the dimension ratings by their respective important weights and then sum to get an overall weighted score. And number 6, classify vendors based on their overall scores. And then 7, audit and ongoing a certification review. So as you have this total score for the XYZ company, so it is said to be that the company passed the evaluation of the supplier or under the supplier scorecard. Okay. Next, let's go now to ISO, or the International Organization for Standardization. This is also very important in creating supplier relationship. So because you will have a guide, now what are the standards to follow, and what are the qualities of the products that should possess, or that your raw material should possess. Okay, so an ISO standard is a documented agreement containing technical specifications or other precise criteria to be used consistently as rules, guidelines, or definitions of characteristics to ensure that materials, products, processes, and services are fit for their purpose. So it can be anything from a 4-page document to one several hundred pages long because it's too informative. No, it is usually also available in electronic form. It carries the ISO logo and the designation of international standards. So the Philippines ISO for 9001 is to 2008 standard. So to keep customers satisfied, the organization needs to meet the requirements. So the ISO 9001 is the 2008 standard, provides a tried and tested framework for taking a systematic approach to managing the organization's processes so that they can consistently run or turn out product that satisfy customers' expectations. So the ISO 9001 is to 2008 is the standard that provides a set of standardized requirements for a quality management system. Some of the Philippines ISO certification requirements are the following. So we have monitoring processes to ensure they are effective, keeping adequate records, checking output for defects with appropriate and corrective action where necessary, regularly reviewing individual processes and the quality system itself for effectiveness, and facilitating continual improvement. What is ISO, or the International Organization for Standardization? So this is a non-governmental organization, or NGO, a network of the National Standards Institutes of some 162 countries with a central office in Geneva, Switzerland, that coordinates the system and publishes the finished standards for traditional activities such as agriculture and construction through mechanical engineering to the newest information and communications technology, or ICT. For the food safety, the ISO number is 2200 or 22000. And then for tourism activity or tourism accommodation, we have the ISO 18513. For the quality management for hotel management, we have ISO 9001. And then for environmental management, we have ISO 1400s. Okay, so these are some of the services and products that have ISO certifications. And just observe, or please be just observant around you, and check for the ISO label so that you can relate our discussion for today. So now let's go to supplier development. This is any activity that a buyer undertakes to improve a supplier performance and capabilities to meet the buyer's short and long-term supply needs. A 7-step approach to supplier development are the following. First is to identify critical goods and services. Second is to identify critical suppliers not meeting performance requirements. Third is to form a cross-functional supplier development team. And then next is to meet with top management of suppliers. Next, to rank supplier development projects. And then, of course, to define the details of the various supplier agreement and monitor project status and modify strategies. So these are the ways on how to do the supplier development procedures. Okay, so for the supplier recognition program, so the following criteria should be attained. Ability to meet requirements, make timely deliveries, to provide accurate administrative support, to maintain inventories, to have customer support and awareness of environmental concerns. So for the achievement for the best supplier, so this is one of the effect or the outcome of recognizing or having our supplier recognizing or recognition program for the suppliers. Also for them to serve as a role model for other suppliers. The supplier relationship management, or the SRM, this is an extended procurement processes such as sourcing, and spend analysis, sourcing execution, or sourcing analytics, and then sourcing execution. We have the procurement execution, the payment and settlement, and closing the feedback loop, supplier score carding, and performance monitoring. Okay, so according to Global Consultant, SRM encompasses a broad suite of capabilities that facilitate collaboration, the sourcing of transaction execution as well, and performance monitoring between the organization and its trading partner. So that's what we call the supplier relationship management, or on how to manage the supplier relationship. We have these 5 tenets of an SRM. First is automation. This is an activity with the use of technology. Next is integration. This provides a view of the supply chain that spans multiple departments, the processes and software applications for internal users and external partners. So you need to integrate all aspects of the supply chain. Maybe it's from the internal or from the external partners. The visibility of information and process flows in and between organizations. Views are customized by role and aggregated by a single portal. So it's very important to communicate well, to be visible all the time, to tell all the information to people or groups that should know that information. Of course, collaboration through information sharing and suppliers' ability to input information directly into an organization. So supply chain information system. So with in connection to visibility, collaboration also is very important. So when you collaborate, you are able to link with some other groups and to study and to be knowledgeable about the information they want to share. And of course, those information are very helpful or should be very helpful or advantageous for the business, especially in hospitality industry. And last is optimization. So processes and decision making through enhanced analytical tools. So all of these 5 tenets or first 4 tenets should be enhanced in terms of analytical tools. Okay, so that's optimization. Again, here are the 5 tenets of an SRM. We have automation, integration, visibility, collaboration, and optimization. Okay, so I have here additional video for your reference. Please study or please watch. Please take time to watch this. This is about supply chain relationships. For your assignment, in your own opinion, what is the importance of supplier relationship with its consumers, retailers, or customers? Next, among the key ingredients in developing partnership, select three that most important to you and why. And then next is what is the important or why is it important to evaluate the suppliers? And number four, research for ISO 2200 and ISO 9001 about the details of this ISO. And then number five, among the five tenets of SRM, for you, what do you think is the most important and why? That's it for our topic for today. I hope you learned something. So this is about how to create supplier relationship. Thank you very much and stay safe, everyone.